All right, September 15th, episode 5 of the KC Bros podcast. This is your host, Ace. To my right, this is Dre, man. To my right.
Big Earn to my right.
This is CJ Mayo.
All right, y'all. Welcome to another good content, another good week. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We're going to talk about some Antonio Brown. I know we said in a few previous podcasts we was done discussing him, but he made that kind of hard to do. We're going to recap the Chiefs on the past two games. Then we'll talk about our best game and performer so far, and then give our first Monday night prediction of the season. And then we'll tally those up at the end of the season and see who had the best prediction and see who wins those. And then, of course, final takes. So got another good episode on the way. Antonio Brown. We've all heard him in the news. We all know what's going on. He did get to play today. Got a touchdown in the win with the Dolphins. But they did get the dub. But prior to today's win and today's being eligible to play, had a lot of other stuff going on around him. Dre.
I mean, where do I even begin? Guy, this is a man who forced his way out of Oakland. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there.
What about before that? Forced his way out of Pittsburgh, too.
Pittsburgh, yeah. But specifically Oakland, there was a lot of conspiracy theories out here about, getting social media help. I'm not going to dive into that because we can go down that rabbit hole all day long. I hate it. The Patriots would be the team that picks them up because they do this kind of thing. Corey Dillon, Randy Moss, Albert Haynesworth. They take these trouble players. I think Bill Belichick is almost like a ego complex with him where he wants to try and prove to people like, look, I can take this guy
Ocho Cinco
and do something with him that these other teams couldn't do.
He's proven to be pretty good in that, though.
Some of them have worked out. I wouldn't say Albert Haynesworth worked out.
Oh, well, no.
Ocho Cinco definitely didn't work out. And then you had these rape allegations come out, this civil suit come out from a young LSU gymnast named Brittany Taylor. Okay, I definitely have some thoughts on this young lady. I'm going to keep my words PG today.
Okay,
but
appreciate it.
I think it's a money grab myself.
There's a lot going on.
Why, if you were being harassed, would you go back 2 more times to continue to be harassed? Now, some of these speculations allegations, I should say, that she brought against Antonio, the second one where the man released himself. I'm trying to pick my words wisely.
On her back.
On her back.
There.
And she apparently had no idea that she didn't hear no moans, no stroke sounds, or anything on the side. I mean, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I don't know any man who can masturbate in silence.
Not a good sample, man.
Maybe if you're in a tight spot, you gotta do what you gotta do.
We just went out to PG-13.
Yeah, we just elevated.
On our way to NC-17.
That was my first one. I'm not buying it. Most men can't do it in silence. Number 2, okay, the money. She's asking for around like a minimum of $75,000. $75,000? You know how much Antonio Brown is worth? I mean, I thought she'd be asking for millions. They're talking about 75.
I know in one of the little suits things here just recently, I guess it was for $2 million to settle the suit, and he refused.
Yeah, she had to ask for that to even get the case opened. So she had to ask for the minimum $75,000 for it to even be a civil case.
But he could have settled it for $2 million, and he chose not to.
Thirdly, the thing she's putting her husband to, okay? She just got married.
Yeah, that's tough. Weekend. I saw that. That's tough.
Yesterday, right?
So,
Wow, congratulations.
she said, hold off in NFL. I got to get married first, and then I'll come talk to you
On Monday, right.
about Antonio Brown sexually harassing me 3 times. So I just don't know. I just feel like if you're being harassed, why you continue to go back after the first time? Okay, maybe you thought, okay, it was a one-time thing. Then you went back after the second time. It's kind of like, I don't know. Antonio said it was consensual. They had a consensual relationship. I'm on Antonio's side. Very rarely have I said this, But I'm leaning more towards Antonio might be telling the truth on this one. That's all my thoughts.
First of all, I'm gonna really tiptoe through this topic.
Don't tiptoe, man. Say how you feel.
I got to. First of all, shout out to Brittany Taylor's husband, because I couldn't be him.
That's a real man right there.
That's a real man.
Strong-willed.
Yeah. Second of all, just kind of putting, we're all guys here, like just kind of putting ourselves in her shoes. I felt like she basically went public. She didn't want to go public. She wanted to settle out of court because she didn't want to be in the public eye, like get her business out. And with the Me Too movement and all that stuff, like I said, I don't want to get all political and all that stuff about it, but you put yourself in her shoes. She didn't want her business out, and she wanted to basically say, "Hey, pay me. I'm going away. I just want to start my life over." I mean, I can't really say that she didn't get harassed. Her actions are saying a lot, but we can't just say that.
Here's my concern: that prior to the allegations, there was requests for money that was denied. So then that kind of looks fishy.
Interesting.
And it wasn't like $300-$400. Like it was an ask for 1.6 million.
What I saw.
Whoa.
And I guess apparently a little over 300,000 of that was to finish purchasing a home for her and her mom. Like now the story gets a little twisted when money's involved way before allegations come
in
out.
fairness, that's Antonio's side of the story. We don't
True.
know if those are facts.
That's true.
That's his side of the story.
And so just trying to piece it all together, it is hard to say who's right, who's wrong, if she did or did not get harassed. Now, what makes it difficult for me is all of Antonio's other actions. Kind of makes it hard to, can't really put this past him. Like it wouldn't be something that he would not have done.
Yeah. Could I see Antonio doing it? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Not just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt just
And
because.
especially
him.
with the example that Dre gave, well, not the example, but bringing light to one of the allegations with the releasing.
The skeet?
Can't say that on the radio.
Can't say skeet?
No, we'll edit that out.
That is clearly, it almost seems like something that Antonio Brown would do based on his other actions. I mean, let's be real.
Whoa.
Like, I mean, he
Kind of a wild guy.
You saying this is the type of man to relieve himself on somebody's back?
without their knowledge, yes. I
Saying I
really do.
wouldn't be surprised.
I just wouldn't be surprised by that allegation.
She was just laying naked in a. You know what? I'm about to change my stance.
That's what I'm thanking, bro. Thank
She
you.
laying naked in
Well,
this
nobody
man's
said
bed.
whether or not she was.
So
she
what
was
he
in the
lifted
nude.
her shirt up and did. I mean,
Well, he just
that's not making sense.
The
What's it on the
allegations
shirt?
just say on the back, so she could have had a shirt on.
Okay.
Nobody said that she
Even
was
a jacket.
In the
It might have
nude.
been cold.
Yeah, so nobody's saying like we was in a training facility.
Hey, look.
It was
hey,
cold
look.
that night.
I don't want to get. I don't know about y'all. I don't want to get into this. I'm done talking about Antonio Brown. We already spent 8 minutes on this man. We spent 14 minutes our first episode. We spent another 8 minutes our second episode. I'm done talking about it. Let's just talk about football. Antonio Brown had a good day today, but he's with the Patriots. The Patriots played Miami Dolphins.
Scrub.
We'll see what happens down the line. We'll recap it. Good luck to Brittany Taylor. Good luck to Antonio Brown. Good luck to the Patriots. See y'all in the AFC
I'm not
Championship game.
wishing nobody good luck. I'm sorry.
Only thing I have to say about tough decision. A lot of information to dive into.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it's not our job to make that decision.
Man, it's a lot.
It is a lot based off his previous actions, his previous judgment, but also too.
We don't really know her either.
No, we don't know anything about her.
Nothing.
I do commend Roger Goodell for not putting him on the exempt list, simply because right now it's a he said, she said.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it would have been a rush to judgment to put him on the exempt list already because it's her words versus his words. And they always say, you know, the old saying, there's this person's side, and then the truth is in the middle. So you can't rush a judgment. You have to do your due diligence, research it, find out the facts, and then make your decision from there. Because you don't want a whole Ray Rice situation all over again where you rush the judgment and then Ray Rice out there playing. Then the video comes out. Now you want to try to suspend him again. Like, you don't want that whole situation to go. You don't want that's a bad look for the NFL. So they're gonna take their time, wait for the facts, and then go from there.
I agree. Even with her maybe not wanting to go public with this matter or the information, I do feel that she would believe that most people wouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt initially, so he would be an easy target.
Yeah, especially after
True
this
or not.
offseason.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's all I would say. Yeah.
He did have a rough offseason. Didn't even get to play last week. Was eligible to play today, which he did, and we talked about with the 1 touchdown. But everybody's been eligible to play for the Chiefs the last 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
And they've had 2 really good games. So let's jump into Chiefs and Jags and Chiefs and Raiders. CJ.
Starting with week 1, we'll start with the injuries. Tyreek,
Tough.
broken clavicle.
4 to 6.
Same with, predicting 4 to 6 weeks. Same with Nick Foles. Same injury. So he'll be out for some time.
Yeah, he's going to be out a little longer. They're talking about
he
after
had
mid-season for
yeah,
him.
he had surgery.
Yeah.
Okay. No, not broken for Tyreek, but definitely for Foles.
Yeah, they said Foles may not be back till week 11.
Yeah, I know he did have surgery the day after. Big day for Sammy Watkins. Had 3 touchdowns, almost 200 yards, 198 with 9 grabs. Big day for Pat.
That's not surprising.
3 touchdowns, 378 yards, 25 completions, and only 33 attempts. Definitely a good day. LaShawn McCoy was a standout too. 10 carries for 81 yards. We get that on a weekly basis, which I'll get to in a few minutes for week 2. I'll take that from Shady all day, all season. And especially with him and Williams splitting time. A little chippy for the game, to be expected, though. Chiefs got a target on their back, even though they didn't win it all. Mahomes is the NFL darling. Chiefs are a front runner for AFC. And that defense, they got something to prove because they got embarrassed last season against the Chiefs. And this game, they're at home. Miles Jack got ejected. A lot of pushing and shoving, try to hurt Pat. Their defense, not bad. Better than what I thought. And also the backup that came in for Foles, he looked all-pro.
Look like Tom Brady out there.
He looked all-pro out there. For a rookie quarterback, first game starting, just getting thrown into the game. I was a little unimpressed with the defense. They did hold them. I mean, they won the game, 40-26. Week 2 was much better for the defense. Offense was slow start. Definitely pulled it out in the second quarter. All the points came. That 4 touchdowns by Mahomes, 2 by Demarcus Robinson, who stepped up,
Balled out.
Tyreek Hill's absence. Let's see, Mecole Hardman with a touch. Big day for D-Rob, actually. 6 grabs for 172 yards. I was a little unimpressed with the running game today, especially with the lead that we had at halftime. It was 28-10. I thought they would pound the rock second half and less than stellar. LaShawn McCoy, 11 carries for 23 yards. I think Damian Williams, it was 9 carries for single digits, 8 yards. But
Lord.
Jesus Christ.
But defense definitely looked better. Got to the quarterback, interception, got off the field. More so in the second half, but they look good today overall, I think. Week 2.
My initial concern week 1, I thought Mahomes took a bit too many hits early. I would have liked to see the offensive line do a little better on protecting him, give him a little bit more time to throw, or maybe not even just so much about throwing, but at least not allowing him to get hit so much. Because if he go down, like, that's gonna be tough. Yeah, definitely.
I don't even like that you said that.
I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, please move on.
Edit that out.
Exactly.
But definitely want to protect him. And then, as CJ said, Watkins had an amazing game. Way to step up in Tyreek Hill absence. Be able to fill that void. Now, he clearly didn't put up the exact same numbers today, but still helpful to have options.
Kelsey looked good today, too, also.
Yeah, clearly we all seen first quarter was tough today. But second quarter, we saw the Mahomes we were all used to. But then kind of went stagnant in the second half. Kind of would have thought maybe they'd have poured it on a bit more. But it's always still good to get the W.
Yeah, I pretty much second that with the Chiefs versus Raiders. Starting with that. I'm sorry, with the Jaguars. Starting with that. I mean, first game of the season, training camp, mini camp, been drawing up plays, getting ready for them, and Jaguars been doing the same thing. So that's probably why you had some of the chippiness in the game. First game of the season, you're hyped. Miles Jack kind of had that ejection there where it's always the second person who reacts who gets in trouble. So and that's pretty much what happened there with Miles Jack. And then Chiefs took care of business there. And then today's game, let's just be real. We can put me, Trey, all of us right here. We can go out there and play with Mahomes and we're gonna score some touchdowns. I mean, that man is just he's amazing. And DeMarcus Robinson
Balled out today.
Fam, DeMarcus Robinson.
Threw him open, basically.
And he didn't do much all camp.
Dude, Mahomes is great. And like we said, we need the line to block a little better. I do feel like Mahomes kind of extends plays. He kind of holds on to the ball for people to get open because he doesn't have the Tyreek Hill who can get open like that. He doesn't have the DeAndre Hopkins who has that big target radius. And so he does have to hold on to the ball. And, he's going to get hit a lot more, especially with his line. And Fisher went down today, and that's going to be huge because you got Cam Irvin who can't block nothing. So it doesn't touch his soul at times.
He looked decent today. He looked
Decent. Okay.
Penalties, but yeah.
Make me call him for Elvis again. But, all right, I'm done.
Week 1 against the Jags. Honestly, my first reaction was to that defense. We looked rough in that first game. I thought we gave up way too many points. Now, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They were preparing for Nick Foles in that game, but still Nick Foles threw a touchdown right on the play he got hurt. I thought this week they definitely turned around. I feel like in the new system with the new players that they've got, maybe it's just going to take them a little while to gel because they definitely looked a lot better today. They gave up those 10 points, but then they pitched a shutout after that. So I was definitely happy to see that. Mahomes, kind of speaking to E's point about extending plays, sometimes he needs to learn just to take the sack. That fumble that he had was totally unnecessary.
Exactly. Yep.
He wants to always try and just take the sack. There's nothing wrong with taking a sack sometimes. You took us out of scoring. We could at least had a field goal on that possession. But he wants to always try and make the miracle plays. Sometimes you just have to recognize it's not there.
Same with the no-look pass.
Yeah. And had Kelsey wide open. Instead of just looking at him and throwing him the ball, he did a no-look pass for no reason. Hopefully, he'll grow out some of that stuff. I'm sure Andy's showing him that stuff on tape. Like, hey, this wasn't even necessary. That was a wide open touchdown. But with all that being said, he does have 7 touchdowns in 2 games. Threw for 443 yards, I believe, today. So definitely balled out. I'm not going to complain too much. Kelsey,
What was it? 248 in the second quarter.
278.
Yeah.
278.
2 receivers going over 100 yards a day with Kelsey and Robinson. That's always a good day.
Mecole would have been on that if they didn't hold.
Yeah, that was my other thing about today. We had 10 penalties for 114 yards. Definitely got to clean that up. That's way too. We took ourselves out of. We could have easily 40 today. Easily 40 points today, but because of penalties, some of the calls were kind of questionable in my opinion.
But hold for sure.
The one on LaShawn McCoy was I guess he grabbed him.
The one on Reader.
The one on Reader, I didn't see it all.
Crazy.
I didn't see that hold at all. I don't know what the ref was looking at on that hold.
Got the wrong number or something.
But yeah, we got to clean those penalties up and get that taken care of. I'm still waiting on Clark and Matthew. We paid them some nice checks. Still waiting on them to, make some splashes out there on defense. But like I said, they did pitch a shutout after that, gave up that 10 points. So I was happy with that.
Before we finish up with the recap, did just see Drew Brees is concerned. He said he's concerned about his thumb. from the injury today, and he's supposed to go see a hand specialist in L.A.
Yeah, man. Aaron Donald got him good.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's throwing his arm forward and Aaron Donald's throwing his arm forward, it can easily be broken for sure. Couldn't even grip a football. Yeah, it might be some nerve stuff too. You never know.
And he's 40.
40, yeah. So it's gonna take him a lot longer to recover.
Longer to recover.
And then Bridgewater did okay.
Did I see that they extended Bridgewater
Teddy.
before the game?
Set up.
I think, yeah, like it was weird. Here, I'll look that up while we talk. But
Granted, I mean, we all know it's the Raiders, but I still like the defensive effort after the first quarter.
Definitely got to the quarterback. I like to see that.
And they put Derek Carr in some real compromising positions, and then did get the interception.
I gotta be honest. Derek Carr is trash. I
still don't think he's bounced back from that leg injury. I think he's still real timid.
The two interceptions that he threw today, I don't know what he saw on either one of those.
I think one of those, that one wasn't necessarily his fault, per se. It was a terrible crossing between the two receivers, and which they ended up still was being called an offensive pass interference, but still led to the interception. So that one I may let slide. Now the other one,
the one Breland got an interception. It was just a bad throw.
Yeah,
like I don't know what Carr saw.
And he clearly doesn't have the weapons.
But I like how Breland, was a ball hawk on that. In the right position still.
No doubt.
So I like the way the corners played today for sure. Charvarius, I'm not a fan of his, but he played pretty well. And people are starting to get more into position and talking and communicating. It's just we ain't getting no pressure on the line. I mean, Chris Jones had a couple of good plays, but Frank Clark, he making too much money.
That was the part where we brought up during the game. We don't blitz. Like I saw.
I'd like to see more of it.
I saw a corner blitz come through.
Kendall got a sack off.
But other than that, and I don't know, maybe that's just Spag style, but we only rushed the 4.
Maybe he felt like he didn't have to in this type of game.
Yeah, he wanted to keep everybody in coverage because he thought Carr was going to beat him down the field.
I seen Clark in coverage a couple times. It was making me mad. It's like when Justin Houston used to be in coverage.
He's a pass rusher. Like we're not paying him out there to
pass rush and stop and run. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's Spag's defense, but I would like to see more blitzes because I felt like Carr had all day back there on some of those plays. Where if we would have just brought one more guy, brought 5. We could have, flushed him out the pocket, got a sack, or even more turnovers. But maybe, like I said, maybe he just wanted to keep more people in coverage today because he thought Carr was going to beat him down the field.
With them spending the money and trying to shore up that secondary, is there still concern about the front line? Because Josh Jacobs almost ran for 100. So is it almost like being killed by running backs again like last year?
I think, honestly, I think their game plan was we're not going to get beat by Carr. We'll let Josh Jacobs run the ball because we can score at any time. We want to run that clock out, so let them run the ball. Let them try to get some momentum on the ground, and we're just gonna send everybody in coverage. Again, like you said, there's a little bit of concern, but I think our linebackers are still cool. Damian Wilson's a pretty good player, a lot better than I thought he was. Hitch is Hitch. He's always around the ball, making tackles. And then Darren Lee is just a very instinctive, fast linebacker. I think he can work on some of his tackles, but he seems to be always around the ball because of his athleticism.
I just want to bring up a point that CJ made earlier too. The running game was a little rough today.
That line, man,
had 81
Yeah, you're
from
right.
McCoy, and then today 23. Like that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And of course, the line does make a difference on.
Offensive line does need to step it up.
I think the next game is really going to tell us a lot with Baltimore, and they're they're known for defense, and our home opener, and hopefully we get everybody healthy on our line and ready to play.
My other, maybe not a concern from week 1, but from week 2, is not getting comfortable with playing from behind. Pause. And then And then if we,
it wasn't even necessary.
I felt it.
It really wasn't necessary.
For a person who loves to pause things, I was kind of confused on that.
It wasn't necessary.
I see where you were headed.
I appreciate that, CJ.
I see it.
And so, with that, do we get to a point to where we can't crawl out of the hole we've put ourselves in?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
with
this team
Mahomes,
can
man.
score.
Not with Mahomes.
You saw it in the AFC Championship game last year. Fell behind. Were we nervous in the stands? Hell yeah, I was nervous.
And
but then, coldest. Yeah.
Let's go for y'all.
But I mean, you start putting up points. So I'm not worried about us. I'm not worried about us falling behind. We always gonna put up points.
And the putting up points is cool, but then you're still relying on your defense to stop them, so that way the points matter. Because if we get behind,
I don't think
then we start putting up points, but now we're matching points.
I don't think it's fair though yet to compare this defense to last year, and I'm saying that because it's different players, different scheme. I don't think we're going to be giving up 25 and 30 points like we were last year. Just based off what I've seen, I just have a feeling based off what I've seen these first couple games, I don't think this defense is going to be giving up all these points that they were last year. How many yards did Carr throw for today? Was it under 300?
Yeah, for sure.
I about to say, 198, under 2.
98.
That's a good day.
And
That's a good day.
And they had to throw because they were down. Too,
Yeah.
so.
And still didn't.
And like I said, Jacobs, I mean, he was 99, but we still held him under 100 yards.
They showed well against Fournette too. I thought he was going to run all
Yeah,
over
like
them.
I mean,
me too.
that's a good day to go on the road and hold a team to 10 points. I'm not mad at that at all.
And then, like, of course, we said with the 26 last week, first game.
That was the first game.
Yeah.
Trying to get everybody together. And we talked about it in pre-production. Starting off the season 2-0, 2 road games. Can't really beat that.
Not at all.
That's a good start to
Now,
the
what
year.
we need to be ready for, because Lamar Jackson ran for over 100 yards today, rushed for over 100 yards today. We're gonna get a healthy dose of running from Lamar next week.
Oh yeah.
We gotta be sound. We gotta make sure we in our right spots.
Stay home.
Gaps, yeah.
Yeah, man. You gotta be focused. You gotta know what you're doing. Everybody has to be on the same page out there because he'll take off and run at any moment.
Now, I do not think he'll throw against the Chiefs the way he did against Miami.
Well, that's Miami.
No.
Yeah. So,
And like to your point, I don't think we have a problem with playing from behind, but I just don't want to get comfortable with that.
right. No,
Nobody wants to get comfortable with it.
And that was my concern.
I
Like,
like to get out in front early and often.
you think like, oh, we can always come back if we get down, but then at some point it may not click that game.
But it's not like they do it every game. It's not like a every game thing where they're like behind. So
Today was kind of rare.
I still think we got an incomplete grade too because, like you said, they have a new scheme, new players.
it's not
They
the
didn't
same
get to really
defense.
play that much in preseason. And then you got Claiborne who has a 4-game suspension.
Oh.
I still think we're going to make a move. It might not be a huge move like a Patrick Peterson or anything like that.
Get Minka.
I don't know if that. I heard Dallas might get him.
I'd rather have Patrick Peterson.
I mean, well, I don't know, but I still think
Minka?
we got to give our defense a little bit of time before, like Dre said, that we start to say they're like last year. So,
And I think even with not having Hill, these past 2 games, it really does look like offense picked up where they left off last year. Especially that second quarter today was ridiculous.
Fire in the pan.
Man. And so, I mean, would have liked to seen that continue throughout the second half, but still got the W.
And really, defense should have had 3 turnovers today. If Breland just falls on the ball instead of trying to pick it up and run with it, that's a fumble recovery on the 10-yard line, and there's no doubt in my mind we would have scored another touchdown right there. So, defense was on it today.
If we want to just shift real quick, what are we thinking for next week?
Of course, I'm predicting the dub. Obviously, I don't think we're gonna hold the Ravens to 10 points. I'm gonna say just off the top, with not giving too much thought about it yet. Just coming off this win against the Raiders, I'll say I'm gonna go 30-17 Chiefs. I'll get a Ravens 17. I'll go 30-17 Chiefs. But Lamar does rush for over 100 yards.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler passed for 349 yards on 40 attempts today against the Baltimore Ravens
So they can be thrown on.
at Baltimore. So obviously the Chiefs is the best offense in the league. Our defense, on the other hand, again, like we said, is an incomplete grade. I would go probably saying 30-17.
So do we think we got to stop? Of course, got to keep an eye out for Jackson running from the pocket. What about Ingram? Do we think he becomes an issue at some point during the game or no?
Not that they're playing catch up. And I think it honestly is probably some field goals in there too. I'm going probably 34-17. I think they will.
So do
get
we think
stops.
the Ravens will end up having to play catch up,
I think so.
which
Yeah,
forces
man, everybody's
Lamar,
gonna be playing
which
catch up
forces
against
Lamar
them.
to
Yeah.
throw?
That's what you want. That's what you want, though. You want to get ahead where you have to force Lamar to throw.
Yep.
I don't believe that he can duplicate what he did against the Dolphins. That was an anomaly.
It's the Dolphins. They're playing.
His
It's the
first half
Dolphins.
numbers look like a full game.
Nobody wants to play for the Dolphins. They have mentally checked out after week one. I don't know if they'll win a game this year, to be honest with you. But we need to get ahead. I'll say first quarter. Let's get 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Get ahead. Make Lamar have to throw the rest of the game. That's where you want him, because he's not that accurate of a passer. That's how we beat them.
Now we do know that they do have a decent defense, but
I don't know.
do we still?
I don't know.
Do we
Yeah,
still-
Still up for grabs.
I'm
Yeah,
not
because
saying
they
they
lost
have
C.J. Mosley, Terrell Suggs went to Arizona. Like,
and again, we're still comparing it to that week one was the Dolphins. That's
Would you say they
trash.
gave up 348 to Kyler?
348. Yeah,
I mean,
40 attempts.
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Kyler's trash, but he's not an established quarterback in this league yet. And he
Nah.
came out through for almost 350.
Hey, what do you think Pat gonna do?
I mean,
This is his week 2 of rookie
Pat's
season.
gonna have the same yards, but 7 touchdowns. Like,
Yeah, I think they get away with the dub for sure.
yeah, at home opener.
Put up some big.
Oh, they
points.
gonna be
and
fired
and
up.
They beat the Cardinals
Yeah,
23-17.
so Ravens ain't played nobody yet. I don't know how to judge.
But they barely beat the Cardinals. And then, like you said, they gave a 349 to Kyler. No touchdowns, but they still gave him 349. Now, Lamar led them in passing and rushing today. He rushed for 120 today and threw for 272, 2 touchdowns. So I think we're going to get a heavy dose of
Oh yeah.
both sides of Lamar next week. But like, y'all just both said, Arrowhead is going to fire them up.
It's gonna be a lot of RPOs, like a lot of run pass options for them, and that's their game. That's their game. You got him and Ingram. You don't know who to go after, so they just have to stay on their man, like we were talking about earlier. But that's their game. It's that RPO.
All right. Appreciate y'all listening to KC Sports Bros. Catch us on YouTube and then eventually other platforms as we keep bringing more of this good content to you. While we're still finishing up with week 2 for today, let's jump into performances and performers from last week and what we've seen already this week and also some of the best games we've seen thus far. I'll jump into best game I've seen so far would be Monday night, the Saints and Texans. That was an awesome game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Good back and forth after the touchdown with Watson. He thought the game was over.
the last minute,
And then
less than a minute.
Breeze looked like Breeze. I thought, and I don't know how y'all saw it, I felt like they handled the clock very well down there towards the end with saving that timeout and being able to move the ball downfield.
Yeah, got down and clocked it real quick.
I can't think of who it was that made the catch before the field goal, but you see that a lot where then they try to make a play. He got the ball, went straight down, got the timeout.
I think it was Ginn.
That's what you want to see when you're in a push like that.
Nice veteran.
Yeah, that makes a difference too. Performers, week 1, we've already talked about it also. Lamar Jackson looked amazing in week 1.
All world.
Granted, was the Dolphins, but it's still a pro team.
Yeah.
And he put up ridiculous numbers. Even in the loss, Kyler Murray put up some decent numbers in week one.
Nice fourth
especially late. His fourth quarter was amazing.
Overtime too.
Yeah, so like he's showing that he may be ready for the league. Would have liked to see him get some touchdowns today, which he did not get. Hopkins looked good. That's kind of always. Of course, Chiefs look good week one with Mahomes, who's looked good 2 weeks in a row. Defensively, I thought the Titans looked really good week one.
Of course you did.
Tell me they didn't.
Go on.
They showed very well.
I mean, they had a great week one. Today wasn't maybe the best. They kind of let Brissett get a little loose today.
Did the Titans win today? I just didn't know.
No.
Okay, just go ahead.
But it was close. 19-17. But so those were some of my performers from week one up to this far.
Weren't Titans ahead in that game? Or?
For a brief moment. But
What?
Colts were ahead majority of the game.
Oh, okay. just asking, you know.
For a friend. That's for a friend.
For a friend.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I know Todd Gurley was hurt or kind of still dealing with an injury. I would like to see the Rams play a little better in week one. Of course, they got the win today.
That Carolina team.
Yeah, that I don't know if anybody watched that Tampa Bay Carolina game. That was, yeah. Anybody else?
Week one, I got to give it to Dak and my black or my white Prescott. 405 yards.
Huh?
Well, I don't know these days. 4 touchdowns. I mean, the man balled out week one. I mean, he was an absolute beast. I didn't want to give it to Ern, but I got to. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay? The man balled out 405 yards, like I said, 4 touchdowns.
On MVP pace.
Week 2, DeMarcus Robinson, okay? 6 catches, 2 touchdowns, 178 yards, I believe it was. The man was on fire, catching everything that was thrown to him, back shoulder catches, vertical catches, whatever you want to throw at him. He was catching all kind of diseases out there. I don't know. He was catching everything.
That back shoulder touchdown.
That back shoulder was nice. He showed good hands on that. Those are my top 2 performers for week 1 and week 2.
Quarterback wise, I mean, obviously Patrick Mahomes balling out, continuing his MVP season into his second full season as a quarterback. Kind of looking at the stats right now, Dalvin Cook has been cooking.
Oh my God,
has been cooking for the Minnesota Vikings there. So 3 touchdowns on the season, 265 yards rushing in 2 games. And then wide receiver wise, Sammy Watkins first game, 198 yards, and then going chalk.
Yeah, man.
DeMarcus Robinson. But we all know who the common factor of both of those guys is. So Patrick Mahomes is the common denominator is what I was looking for. Is the MVP right now for sure.
Is he black or white? We don't know.
We don't know.
Was anybody else as unimpressed with that Bears-Packers game from week 1 as I was?
I would rather not talk about it.
Probably less.
Wasting my time.
Can I just interject right quick? Because I told y'all week 1 or 2, episode 1 or 2, that I was going to be following this guy all season. Okay. Juju Smith-Schuster. Earns said he was going. He's the number 1. I said he wasn't. Somebody said named Ern said he was the number 1. Okay.
Somebody, huh?
Let me read off these stats from this number 1 wide receiver. He's the number 1. 6 catches for 78 yards. Week 1. Today, 5 catches, 84 yards from the number 1.
Yeah, from a backup quarterback.
0 touchdowns.
Roethlisberger played 0 touchdowns. Roethlisberger played the whole first half, and he played all of game 1. So don't
84 yards is good. What did DeAndre Hopkins have today?
From a number 1, no touchdowns in 2 weeks. That's good.
What did DeAndre Hopkins have today?
His game 1 was enough.
Okay.
Hopkins had 40 yards.
Are you?
How many?
40.
40.
But are we comparing Juju
I thought you said 4.
to DeAndre Hopkins?
I'm comparing. No, I'm comparing number 1 receivers for a team.
So No. Don't try and specify it for a team.
That's
You just
what
said
else is the number one for? He ain't say number one in the league.
I'm just talking about. I don't care when I think number one. I think you can put this receiver on any team, and he's the number one receiver.
I don't think that.
on
Is that
any
what
team.
you meant?
That's how. That's what I
That ain't
classify.
I heard number one option.
When I think number one, I think you're a number one option. I don't care where you are in the league. Antonio Brown or number one anywhere he goes. Hopkins are number ones
So,
anywhere he
I
goes.
thought the reference was made because Antonio was gone, and so now Juju steps into the number one spot for the Steelers.
Even if you want to go by that criteria,
So you saying Juju
their
couldn't come
number one
here or anywhere else and not ball out?
but we got multiple weapons. I'm going off for your criteria. You said Juju was going to have a big year this year. Is that not what you said?
I didn't say he was going to have a big year.
I just heard about him being the number one
I just say he's going to be. He is a number one wide receiver
for the
for the
Steelers.
Steelers. I think
they have
he can be a number. He's going to have number one stats.
Do they have a better option?
So
than
he's
him?
going to have. So does he have number one stats so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they have a
I
better
mean,
option? than him right
let's
now?
look at this. Michael Thomas, 10 receptions, 89 yards.
For the season
No touches.
No, today,
today,
89 yards on 10 receptions.
10 catches.
But Drew Brees didn't play.
That was okay. That's
I'm
where
done.
I was going.
I'm done.
Neither did Ben. Like,
No, but Drew Brees was out like almost the whole game, wasn't he?
let's
Nah,
see.
he
I
got
don't
knocked
know.
out in the second quarter, I think.
Ben was half, so very similar.
I don't think Juju's on the level of Michael Thomas, though. That's just my opinion.
I didn't say
I didn't
that.
say you said that.
What are we
I didn't
arguing
say
here
you
then?
said that.
I'm just looking at number
My
ones.
my underlying thing was that I don't think Juju is that good. Okay, I thought he
Okay.
benefited a lot from having Antonio. That's why he was so wide open and got as much yards and touchdowns as he did. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, week one performer. Well, first of all, piggyback off of Ace. That Saints Texans game, that was huge,
Man,
especially
good
for
game.
the first of the two Monday night games. First of the two Monday night games. The nail biter came down to the very end. Honestly, I thought Houston had it. That drive, the new addition of Kenny Stills with that, that nice touchdown from Watson. He was getting beat up too.
Always.
Yeah, but they look nice. That was my top game from week one. Week two. Let's see. Well, top performers from week one. Got to go with Lamar too. 85% of his passes were completed that day.
Ridiculous.
Against the Dolphins.
5 touchdowns. Yeah, like we said, professional
A
team.
professional team.
But honestly,
That can be debated.
I'm saying I don't know.
if they was playing Alabama, I wouldn't have expected him to do that day. That's all I'm saying.
disrespect. Go ahead.
Juju. Shout out Juju Smith.
Oh, I'm updating Juju stats every week on this episode. I'm just letting you know. In the rest of the season, I'm updating Juju Smith.
Let's do it. He's going to do it with Mason.
Okay.
Week two performers. Week one. Sammy Watkins from week one too. He balled out, like we said. We touched on him already. Pause. Tom Brady, he was nice. Week one also against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Today, week two, we haven't seen all the games, but that the Pittsburgh Seattle game, that was a good game, even though Ben didn't play the whole game. I thought Seattle had it, but Pittsburgh pulled it out in the end. Shout out to their backup, whoever he is, Mason Rudolph. Yeah, Oklahoma State. Yeah, that was a good game.
Seahawks won that game.
Oh, did
won
it?
that game.
Oh, okay. My fault.
Barely.
Give it to the Seahawks. And I know they were ahead the last I saw. Okay, I apologize. Congrats on them.
Yes, reported Sierra gave him some before the game. That's why he played so well.
Is that reported from you or?
Yeah, I saw it on my
Could be
personal.
that or the check.
That'll do it for me, too.
It was in my inbox.
Okay.
Okay. So are we not to fact check that?
You don't have to.
Okay.
Just take my word for it.
Gotcha.
He's not going to reveal the sources.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes was another top performer today, too. I think he's going to be in the running for MVP again.
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, Dak has been holding up his
Dak
end.
has looked good the first
He's
2
looked
weeks
good,
also.
but I think it's going to be.
Huh.
And it makes it tough, though, with this injury
It's
to
2
Breeze.
weeks.
This is where we insert that clip from week one. But go ahead.
It's still early. They haven't played anybody yet either.
Yeah, but they do have to play them, both those teams again, too. So
Right,
he's
so-
just going
Just boost the numbers.
exactly.
Yeah, those are my top performers in top games, week 1 and 2.
Aaron Rodgers looked better today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
threw for 209, 2 touchdowns.
New offense too.
I was gonna say he looked good for the first 3 touchdowns, and after that, I mean, after they put up that 21, they didn't do nothing else after that. But yeah, they won a game.
Do we think the Dolphins win it all this year?
I think so. The Dolphins. You think they win a game?
Oh, I thought you said, do you think the Dolphins are winning it all this year? I was like,
Not a
what?
chance. But I think they win at least one.
I have to look at their schedule. But
I think one of them Buffalo or New York Jets games.
yeah, they might.
I mean, I don't want to jump ahead, but
Right. As we speak right now, Philly's playing the Atlanta Falcons. Second quarter, 10 minutes left. 3-3 tie. So could go either way.
Before we look at our first prediction of the year, just if y'all want to pull the schedules up real quick, what's a must-see game next week? What is one of the must-see games?
I think we already touched on the Chiefs versus Baltimore. Great offense versus great offense.
Yeah.
So 2-0 teams as well.
I think the Texans and Chargers game could be a good one next week.
Yeah. Just kind of looking at
That
it.
Saints Seahawks game is kind of now with Breeze possibly not
Oh,
playing.
Lord. Y'all see who the Cowboys play?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
Oh,
Dolphins.
you said that? Oh,
600-yard game for Dak.
oh man, I might as well go cash my check early.
like if Ben plays, that
That's a big. Yeah, I was about to say that's a big game for the Steelers. If they
Steelers,
fall to
49ers.
0-3, Tomlin could be on the hot seat.
And
No,
the way-
he's
and the-
on the hot seat every year, man.
Yeah, and the way Jimmy's been playing,
Jimmy G's look good.
I don't know if the Steelers can pull that out.
I thought he was.
Again, a big earned sleeper team, the Niners.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
Somebody's doing their research.
my sleeper team. I mean, well, they're 1-1. Buccaneers. They're 1-1, so it's not.
Anybody see that video
Wait
of
a
Jameis with the pregame speech?
Huh?
The W.
Yeah.
He won it.
He one of them. He won.
Somebody get a linebacker in here and talk.
Jameis is a fool, bro.
Jameis tried to save him.
A safety or somebody.
That was a terrible.
You know what?
pregame
We
speech.
didn't get to talk about that game at all because it was Thursday. Cam looked bad.
Cam,
during the game or
I
in the
said this
post, or in the press conference.
But one of those is my final take, so we will not touch on that
Yeah,
right
we'll
now.
touch on that later.
One of those is my final takes. Okay, the post game.
Okay,
If I could only.
We'll leave it to the game.
Stay tuned. But on the game,
he did look bad.
Cam Newton is done. He looks mentally and physically battered. Like I
I think this goes back to a couple episodes ago about luck.
Getting beat
Is
up.
Cam in this same position now?
He's
'Cause
taking too many
he Still
shots.
hasn't barely bounced back from that shoulder, and now we're at a point now where he does, like Dre said, mentally he looks checked out. Like he just.
I still had flashbacks to that Week 1 game against Denver when he got his
oh
butt
my
kicked.
god, he got
Oh
killed.
yeah, they was
worked.
hammering him. That was
Right-
after the
right after
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
Yeah,
Right off the Super Bowl.
they was letting them do whatever.
That's the worst I've ever seen anybody get beat up in a game like that.
Your body can only take so much.
I think that may have been when he after that.
Yeah,
like
the
he hasn't-
decline.
He hasn't quite been the same.
Yeah, because
since.
that was his MVP season of the season before.
2015.
And then
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
now with
all the injuries,
they call
and
it
surgeries.
Run Christian McCaffrey. They
Wait
put
a
a
minute.
lot of focus on him.
What do y'all think of that play call though?
horrible,
Garbage.
and that's how you know. Because if this
Cam was hurt.
they would have easily run a QB
I don't care if
sneak with
Cam is hurt.
Newton.
I don't care if Cam's hurt. I am rushing. I'm trying to win the game.
This dude is what 6'6",
For a
260.
QB sneak, like he can take it. He can get beat all game.
Yeah.
You do. Oh my god.
And he had
that
a,
was a
he
dumb
had a
call.
QB sneak earlier in the game.
I don't know what North Turner was thinking with that play call.
It's like the Seahawks whenever they should have ran with Lynch.
Yep, he threw the ball.
The game is
Sometimes
on
you
the
get
line.
you try to be smarter
Too
than what's
cute.
necessary.
Too cute.
If I'm Cam Newton and North Turner sends that play into my headset,
Changing it.
I'm audible right there on the spot.
You know what
And
you're gonna
you-
do?
yeah.
You know what you're gonna do? Pull a Willie Beeman. Gonna change the play
Yeah.
in the huddle.
Game on the
Tell
line
him.
though. You do what you got to do,
And you
Yeah.
win.
But I think that speaks to our conversation right now. I think he don't care.
Yeah,
I don't think he cares at this point.
Is he done as a starter?
Clearly, his mind is
No, he'll still play.
Clearly, his
Too much
mind is
talent.
clearly his mind has left him. Based on the outfit choices and everything, his mind is gone.
Save it.
Week 3, the
Chill,
Panthers
chill.
play the Cardinals.
Where at?
Cardinals.
It's in
Arizona.
Arizona.
That's
But
a
who
loss.
picks up their first win?
Cardinals.
At this point, I'm gonna say Cardinals.
I'll say the Panthers just because they had a little bit more time to prepare.
My son will be happy. Shout out Kenyon.
Does Kyler get loose again for another 300?
And no touchdowns, probably.
Honestly, I could see that.
Could this be a bounce back game for Cam?
I'm gonna go Cardinals.
No, picking.
Because Cardinals defense.
I don't think it's going to be Cam who leads this team.
I think
it's going to be
Christian.
I think it's going to be the defense and Christian.
Well, Christian looked like I almost said something else. He looked like crap too on Thursday. What did he rush for like 19 yards or?
You can never take.
Let me look.
I mean, looking at the stats and the history, you can never take Thursdays as the Bible.
Yeah, them turnarounds on Thursdays is tough.
That's
but
true.
Cam didn't look healthy at all in the game.
He said something about a foot after the game
Yeah,
too that I
like-
never heard about.
McCaffrey has
He
16.
hurt his foot in preseason.
He has 16 carries for 37 yards.
Was it a major?
Yeah, he sat out the rest of the preseason because he hurt his foot.
Now Cam still threw for 300 Thursday. It just didn't really. Now he also threw 51 passes.
Too much.
Completed
Dude, Cam
entirely
was
too much.
inaccurate as hell.
yeah, he was. He
He
was.
went 25 for 51 Thursday.
I think they need to use Christian McCaffrey, the little dump off screens, the little choice routes through the running back, handling the ball, and then play defense. I mean, they still have Luke, still have Poe and all those guys. So, I mean, they have a good defense still.
And this is not bias. This is a legit question.
Anytime you started off like that, it's biased. Go ahead.
Thursday night game. Titans and Jags. Do we think it makes for a good game or no?
I won't be watching.
To be honest,
To me, it depends on the teams
I'd rather
for
work.
Thursday games.
Mariota versus Gardner.
I don't know. That might be a good one. Gardner Minshew looked good today.
I could really care less.
It's kind of two mobile quarterbacks going at it with solid, maybe defensive play.
Yeah.
I could see another blowout for Tennessee, honestly, the way they just smacked up the Browns week 1. But Thursday game,
Yeah, the Browns are still working to jail. And they looked extremely out of sync on last week against the Titans, and that's not biased, but they did look extremely just bad all the way around.
Yeah.
Offense and defense.
Worse than what I was expecting.
Very. Which leads us into our first Monday night prediction of the season. Browns and Jets. Dre.
Browns. Yeah.
Not too sure, my guy.
NFL. I'll start by saying this: the NFL will humble you. Okay. There was a lot of talk about the Browns going into the year. All-star team. They got Odell, Jarvis, Njoku at tight end, Baker quarterback. Defense got Myles Garrett, Olivier Vernon now, Denzel Ward. Just a loaded team.
Kareem Hunt coming back.
Kareem
anyway.
Hunt, Nick Chubb. I mean, weapons all over the field. All everybody wanted to talk about was the Browns. Of course, Baker, we know his ego. He's arrogant, cocky, feeling himself, and they got humbled that first week.
People
Right
was
now,
picking them in the Chiefs.
Right
for the
now,
NFC.
Baker Mayfield has 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions.
They got humbled. Baker was throwing passes in that game that I don't know what he saw, but there was no Browns receiver there. Throwing straight to the Titans.
You got roughed up a little bit too.
He did.
Jets. You got Sam Darnold out. I guess he kissed the wrong girl. Gave him something. Luckily, it was only mono that he got. But
Let's hope it was a girl.
yeah, he is in New York. You never know. You
Hey,
got to check that throat.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
but I don't know who the Jets' backup is.
Trevor Siemian.
Oh my Lord. Where's the game at? Is it in New York?
The game is in New York.
New York.
I'm gonna go Browns. Number one, because Trevor Siemian's the starter for the Jets now. He's garbage. And
Le'Veon get loose.
I think Browns will bounce back. I think that definitely opened their eyes. They're gonna come in focused. Big stage Monday night, all eyes on you. National televised game. I think Browns will bounce back and take the win.
Big R.
Yeah. The Jets, they have a lot going on, obviously, with Sam Darnold. And then also Le'Veon Bell is hurt. Do you guys know that?
I did not.
Yeah. Yeah, he's hurt. He's
think
questionable
he
for the
would lose.
game. He'll probably play, but he's questionable. C.J. Mosley's out for the game.
I did see that.
So the Jets have a lot going on.
Two of their guards are questionable for
Two of their
game,
guards
too.
are questionable. Yeah, I seen that. I just seen that.
So you got a backup.
So
And,
I think the Browns bounce back, have a big day. I guess I'll predict the score 31-10
oh,
blowout.
wow.
I mean, Trevor Siemian is starting,
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
and then Le'Veon Bell is hurt, and they don't have receivers.
No.
Yeah, it might not even be that close, to be honest.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's
Go ahead,
he's
CJ.
probably gonna play, but
Yeah.
They only did the MRI as a precaution, but there wasn't nothing wrong.
he hasn't practiced all week.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think Le'Veon
I just
gets
read it.
loose, but yeah, definitely a backup starting quarterback for New York. You're already at a disadvantage there. They looked okay week 1, but they were playing Buffalo. Yeah, I think the Browns bounce back. They had a tough week 1. They got smacked up at home. Odell with the watch. He said he gonna keep wearing it, but I think Odell bounced back, has a decent week. I think Baker will show it. This will boost his confidence at least.
Speaking of that,
The watch.
what would be the most expensive? Like, would you ever be so rich where you would just go out there in a $200,000 watch and play a collision?
It wasn't
sport?
like,
He didn't pay for that watch, man. They
and it wasn't like super icy or nothing, so that helps.
It's still 200,000.
I mean,
I
I'm
don't
just
care if
saying.
it's icy or not.
I'm just saying. And then my concern, I guess, with that was like even a few years ago, Michael Crabtree, somebody snatched his chain in the middle of a game.
That was a keep to lead.
thug.
Yeah, so
A chain.
I'm just saying, like, I think we got to get to a point now to where we maybe not feel the need to have to wear.
A Fitbit.
$200,000 Fitbit, huh?
Yeah, he was counting the steps.
He also feels like if it had been somebody else, the league wouldn't have cared.
He said he's gonna wear it again
He did say.
tomorrow night.
And that tells you that man got paid to wear that.
It also tells you that he's still Odell Beckham.
And he cares.
Yeah.
He cares about other things more than he
Is
cares
that
about
confirmed?
football.
I heard
Yeah,
there was no
absolutely.
sponsorship.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, they said he has no
That's
sponsorship
what I
with
heard.
them.
That's all I heard.
Yeah, okay.
but I don't know. Yeah.
I
read into it.
I also predict the Browns to win the game. I think, as everybody else has said, bounce back.
Give Baker some confidence.
They got something to prove for
Yeah,
sure.
I think Dre elaborated on that perfectly. They were humbled last week. They came in with so much hype, thought they were just going to be able to run through. They just ended up getting a really bad matchup week 1. Thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, we know how you feel.
Not even worthy of a response.
So our first prediction, Monday night prediction of the year, everybody went Browns. But we'll see who is winning at the end of the year on the most correct Monday night picks.
Cool.
Final takes, CJ.
My final take, KU football. It looked pretty good this weekend.
Yes, sir. Got another dub.
On the road at Boston College.
That's 2 earned.
A lot of people
More than that.
saying they played subpar talent, but I'll take that offense in any week.
That's a
against
big
who they
win.
play.
That's a big win.
Pookie
Less-
Williams.
Less the Herbert, he's a senior back. The Herbert kid, he had a nice
Yeah, he
rushing
went off.
game. Stanley's looking well. I mean, especially I was more impressed with just them being on the road on a Friday night. Not a lot of games being played, so a lot of eyes on you. But I think he's gonna change the culture there, at least to more competitive.
Got him eating that grass out there.
I'm not saying national championship, but I like to see the competitive play.
Not yet.
KU football, I like
Not
it.
yet. Big earn.
Hold on. Did he say not yet, or he's just about a national championship?
I said I'm not saying national championship. I say I just like to see.
I said not yet.
Are you predicting they're going to be competing
Oh.
for national championship soon at Kansas football?
I think at some point here, with less matters and being able to recruit better talent, I do.
Not impossible.
It's really not.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
When was
At
the
this
last
rate, they'll probably be competing sooner than GBR.
That is blasphemy. Okay.
All right.
That is blasphemy.
All right. just speaking how I see it. Big Iron, final take.
Oh man, I can't even think straight. Let's see. KU, wow.
Competing for national championships, Aaron.
Yeah. Say that again.
It's happened
You
before.
can't say Mizzou.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'll start with, whatever I predict. You might as well just go take it, take it to the bank. Dak Prescott's winning MVP. Juju is the number one receiver.
Yeah,
Mark it down.
Okay.
Secondly, I just want to shout out Mr. Trey here, our producer,
Shout out.
our everything. This wouldn't be able to be possible without him.
Dirty Red.
Also, shout him out. I'm not sure what your Instagram or all that stuff is, but if you want to put on a podcast, he does a good job producing, getting everybody together. And look at the description link. And I just wanted to shout him out.
Big up.
Shout
Deserves
out.
it.
Big up. Thank you, Trey. All right, Dre. Final takes.
Final takes.
Let's go.
Okay, I got 3 of them. Number 1.
Whoa.
Hey, don't. Hey, you said takes.
Okay.
Number 1, Nebraska. Okay, 44-8 win over Northern Illinois. Nice bounce back win after a rough loss last week against Colorado. I didn't talk to nobody for an hour, literally after that game. I
Still the
was
black shirts.
here watching it at my Aunt Yolanda's house, and I wanted to walk out. It was bad. But bounce back. Adrian Martinez had a good game, 257 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mills had a good game rushing, 11 carries for 116 and a touchdown. They bounced back. Go on the road next week to Illinois, first conference game, Champaign, Illinois. Should be a good win next week. My second take, okay, Cam Newton. The man is turning into Ving Rhames from Holiday Heart. Have you seen this scarf? Okay? Have you seen this scarf? The man is clearly having an identity crisis. I don't know what's going on. The hair, I don't know if you think he's from South Florida now, because that's how they wear their hair down there. And then he looked at RIP. He looked at my grandma with that scarf on. I'm sure it was expensive, but it was not a good look. The suit was horrible. Patterns going every which way. Clearly, the shots are affecting his brain and his choice of style. Cam Newton is officially concussed. I believe it's just not going reported. The man has problems. Okay, and he might be on the down low, but you didn't hear from me. Number 3.
Whoa.
My third hot take.
That's strong.
My third hot take. Friday night, I took my lovely wife Michelle. Shout out. Went on a date. We went to Saints. Thank you. Went to Saints. Had a good little dinner. Philly cheesesteak for me was beautiful. Waffle fries.
Not the chicken
You didn't
sandwich.
get the buffalo?
I diverted.
Wow.
I'm hooked on the Philly cheesesteak at Saints.
Talking about concussed.
It is
range.
delicious. I still F with the chicken sandwich.
Okay.
But the Philly cheesesteak was delicious.
Okay.
After that, we went to a movie. And let me just tell you, this has been one of the greatest experiences of my 2019.
It
Went to go, hell no, I don't do scary movies. I'm too much of a punk for that.
Same.
We went to go see,
I will be seeing. I'll let y'all know.
we went to go see Hustlers. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Jennifer, J-Lo, Jenny from the Block Lopez has never
AKA Tom Brady.
looked, 6 rings, has never looked, Lord of the Rings, some people were calling her. Lord of the Rings, some people have been engaged 6 times.
There was a
Look
high
it up,
five that
folks.
just took place.
Petition.
Wow.
A-Rod has been seduced. Never have I seen J-Lo look. Some of the moves
And she's 50.
that she pulled off in this movie. I'm talking climbing poles,
Children.
busting into the splits. Okay. J-Lo, when you see her in this Hustlers movie, she looks 22 in there.
So you're impressed?
I was impressed. with her, not only because of her age, but her flexibility at this age.
Was the plot of the movie good at all?
It was actually it's not just about stripping. It's based off a true story.
Yeah.
About scamming Wall Street guys for money. It actually is a really good movie. The storyline was good.
Cardi.
They told her what Cardi was in it with her fake boobs. Keke Palmer was in it. Not the greatest actress, but she was in it. It was a really good movie. But J-Lo, I mean, the outfit choices that she had on, I commend whoever that stylist was that chose these little pieces of nothing for J-Lo to wear. It was beautiful. I could have did without Lizzo. Not really a big fan of fat girl stripping. Not really my thing. Some guys are into that, I guess. Not really my thing.
BBWs, man. BBWs.
I don't want to see them strip though. That's a little too much for me. But anyway, go see Hustlers. I highly recommend it. That's my final take.
All right, so I'll hit mine. 2 final takes. I guess kind of same thing I was thinking. I guess that's why we twins.
You seen it too?
No, I haven't seen it. But Friday I went to the movies with my wife too. Celebrated 11 years of marriage.
Happy anniversary. Happy
Went
anniversary.
to go see Good Boys.
Hilarious.
Man.
Hilarious.
I don't know if anybody's seen the that puppet movie where the murder town, whatever. I thought it was gonna be similar to that where it just wasn't funny. But this was hilarious.
Hilarious.
And I think with the them being like 5th, 6th grade, all their terminology was way off, which made it 10 times more funny. My another final take, Team USA. This was a tough year.
Trash.
Goodness. Pray for them.
Unfortunately, earlier in our episodes of podcast, we did think that they would at least medal, and they did not.
Wrong.
So as we prepare for 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, we did qualify, but it was rough.
We're in a bad group though, aren't we?
I think so. First round, we beat Czech Republic by 21. Then we played Turkey and beat them by 1. Then we played Japan, blew them out by almost 50. Had a fine time with Greece and Brazil. And then quarterfinals, lost to France. So immediately once we got into tournament play, we lost. We got outplayed by France. We didn't have any. Miles Turner was the only big man. Made us look real bad.
Rudy Gobert was hooping.
Man.
And Fournier.
And so was Frank. So he might have a good year with the Knicks. Then elimination game, played Serbia. Got manhandled by them. We ended up beating Poland and to finish 7th. We ain't never finished like that. So I'm concerned
Ever.
for 2020 on if the big stars will play.
I just don't think it's important to him anymore.
I don't think so either. I think the concern is the Larry O'Brien trophy at this point, and that means more than the gold medals. Kemba was our top performer with 14 points a game. Jason Tatum led in rebounds with 7.5 rebounds per game, and he missed like the last 3 or 4 games and still led the team in rebounds.
What was Joe Harris' numbers?
I don't know.
3-point king.
Donovan Mitchell averaged 13 a game, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Kemba had 5 assists per game. So we didn't have anybody that just stood out.
Well,
had so many players drop out at the last minute, and those who didn't want to play. And like Dre said, I don't think they care anymore.
You think Coach K could have done a better job than Pop?
Not with this squad.
It
I
had
don't
nothing to do with coaching.
I don't think it was Pop.
The talent.
Yeah, the talent was terrible.
Well,
The thought just crossed my mind.
If you look at the last Olympics, the last Olympic roster, they didn't have the LeBrons or those type of people on their team. But we do need those. They had 3rd-tier players on this team.
Yes.
In the league. So I think if we get the 2nd-tier players in the Olympics, I think they'll be fine. Like your Devin Bookers of the world and Damian Lillards and those type of players. If they can,
but do they want to play?
I mean,
Only reason
those are
why
the
I
type of
think
players
we
I think
may
will
be-
play for the Olympics, not no FIBA.
I think FIBA and Olympics makes the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, that's a huge difference. But they're not going to get the LeBrons, even though LeBron's done with Olympics. But
He may play though,
he's not going to play.
just simply because of how many goals it would give him, and
it's a lot of miles on him at this.
Yeah,
stage
and I
of
know
his career.
sometimes he say stuff and sometimes he don't, but beating records is important to him. And if he could add another gold medal, I don't think he would pass that up.
I thought
Is Melo has
Melo has more than him
Melo has
because Melo played in the last one.
That's what I'm saying. So to try to catch up, he may do it.
Melo.
Catch
Do
up
they-
and
do-
breaking, I think, is
do
two different
they-
things for him.
I guess a quick question before we get out of here: do they now look stupid for telling Melo no?
I think so.
I
You
didn't-
think you think he could have got him? He could have got him the W's.
No,
No.
he would have shot him out of the game.
That's
he trying to make a team. You know he gonna make a statement.
Yeah, let's not overhype Melo here.
And they rumored that he had a workout with the Warriors. I don't know how that's gonna pan out.
Oh Lord.
I'd rather see him in Brooklyn while KD's out.
Yeah, they said Kyrie was too. They was both going to management about Melo.
I think Brooklyn would be the best landing spot for him to kind of bridge the gap between
Waiting on KD.
Melo
to get
and
back.
waiting on KD. Yeah.
I think his wife gets better workouts and power, if you ask me. But
Hey,
that's
that's a take right now. Hey, let's wrap this up. I need to go home and watch that.
real talk.
All right, thank y'all for joining us. Episode 5, it's KC Sports Bro Podcast. Check us out on YouTube and then eventually other platforms. And then we look forward to more content as we recap some more stuff in episode 6. Thanks for joining us.